Zman beyoter, that time will never end, and that we're trapped in time. You know, again, as a deep thinker, you can't just judge it on the first reading. It's really saying something profound about the way we experience our lives. And therefore he felt, since it's Adar, and it's the end of the year, and it's where I can grab onto them and bring them down, then, this is the best. I'm so happy. They don't want to have a religion like us. They're different from any other religion. They have their own rules and their own laws, those Jews. Because they believe that they believe in being above time. They all have Shabbos and they have Yontiv. All of the days are involved in connecting and tying time to eternal time. Again, for him it's an anathema. For him it's like, I hate that. I don't know exactly how to put it in terms of today. But the teaching here is that really Israel is the whole idea of connecting to eternity. Just repeating it more and over again doesn't. What's missing? What's missing in what we need to feel here? That if you'd look back, if we'd all stand up now, and we'd look west, away from Jerusalem, and we'd look west and we'd envision our whole past, and our mother and father and their past, and our grandparents and their past, all the way back. Almost you could see all the way back into the past. I'm telling you, you'll end up at Adam and Eve. We all root back into one. What do we need that for? If you see back to the very beginning and you don't just see immediate history, but totality of history, then you see even that comes from one. That comes from God. You come to the edge of time, the beginning of time. You come to the time came into existence at a certain point, and before that there was no time as we know it. I mean, literally. I wrote an essay based on Aryeh Kaplan's essay called "The Age of the Universe," where I developed his ideas a little bit beyond what he did in certain ways, based on certain books that he didn't have, even though he had almost everything. But the Age of the Universe is very interesting, and how the Ari deals with it, and the Baal Shem Tov deals with it, and how our great sages dealt with that time exists within non-time. Time exists within eternal time. So if you go back all the way to the beginning, you get a little bit of a touch. Now turn around to the future. Turn around to the east, facing Jerusalem. And it's now 9:57 on my watch. 9:59 doesn't exist yet. We're at the edge of time. Time ends right here every second, and we enter now into time, but time wasn't existing 2 minutes ahead of us. Somehow you can do exercises if you need. Somehow we can make something up, or we can get it, that we're living within a little bubble of time. And when we realize that, then we understand that we're surrounded by a higher universe. We don't have to work too much to do it, I guess. I mean, the point is, it's so clear that that's what the Beit HaMikdash is, that's what our holidays are. But the healing that you get from it is what I want to maybe bring out. Everything in my life in the last few years is dedicated to reconnecting with the Shorosh Neshama, with the souls above us. Not just my personal Shorosh Neshama, but the souls who each one of us are connected to. And establishing a conscious relationship with them. On Rosh Hashanah I was in the middle of the Amidah, and there are certain places in the Amidah that I stay a long time in, and I felt I was in heaven with all the souls, and I started to name their names. And when you name their names, it's not like you're seeing them and it's a roll call. It's just it's a subtle way of, right? I believe that they're all there and all the generations are together in that higher dimension. Time doesn't exist as we know it down here. And when Mashiach comes, we will be lifted up into eternal time. So it has to become something real, that you can actually feel yourself there, surrounded by all the souls that you've known who have gone up, as well as those who you have not known. That's why there's a book in Breslov that most people don't understand, like, what is this book about? It's called Sefer HaShemot. Shemot HaTzadikim. It's like 150 pages in small type of the names of tzaddikim. And it's a practice in Breslov to say these names. Like for most of us, I'm going to know 99% of them. What's it all about? Is that when you say this name, there's an energy to it. And the more you know about that person, the more you know that you can connect to that energy. And that they live in eternal time, and they're beckoning us to be aware of them. They are not allowed to reveal themselves too much, but they want, the more that we awaken from below, the more they can manifest in our consciousness from above. And that the time that we live in can become sacred time, can become eternity entering into time, which is Shechina, which is Hashgacha Pratit, what's called synchronicities or serendipities, right? All the names that people have from it. But for us, it's Hashem. So we'll just finish. Haman is bothered by this. So there's an underlined line which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 from the top. Yidgaber alehem al yidei chochmat hakishuv shelo. He wanted to overcome us with magic, not cheap magic, with the wisdom of the darker powers that want to squash and kill the spirit of Israel in the world. They don't want to kill you and me. They want to kill what we carry. Shira'a shekefi, next line, kefi mazalot yesh lo koach az lidgaber alehem az. He saw, and I'm sure that they have this, I'm sure that they see that according to the mazalot, the perfect time is coming for them to take over the world and to kill every Jew. And the truth is that we really, really were, and we really are in danger. Ma'od, ma'od. Like it says in all the books. Because really, truly, according to the constellations, according to the astrological setup in the heavens right now, which is the concept of under time, he did have the power to overcome. But Hashem had compassion. And he illuminated them. He shone his light upon them, an amazing, wondrous light from above time. Now there's a book that Natasyahu Glazerson wrote, which all of his books, I'm so sorry, I don't want to say anything bad, but they're not written very well. But there's a book called The Mayan Calendar, Judaism and the Mayan Calendar.
Yeah.
And he wrote it with another guy.
He spoke about it.
And it's a very interesting book. And he claims there something which goes very much along with what Kabbalah is about, is that we've gone through thousands of years, we've been in almost like a spree field, where we've had to travel, our galaxy has traveled through a very difficult place. It's very much like what the Leshem says about us traveling in the desert. Everywhere we went, God, this is a depressing place, let's get out of here. But the cloud landed, and we had to set up camp. And then when we were all cleaned the place up, the cloud would lift up, and wait a second, let us stay. It took us such a long time to make this place livable. And then when we found a place that was nice, we'd have to get up the next morning and move. Like it was always the opposite of what we wanted. And yet it says, Al pi Hashem yahanu ve'al pi Hashem yisau. We traveled when Hashem said, and we camped when Hashem said. And the Leshem, Rabbi Shalom Al-Yashi brings out, in the name of the Chaim of Volozhin, the son of Rabbi Chaim Volozhin, Rabbi Yitzhak, that this is so deep, that Hashem sent us into the desert, which is what's called the Mishkan of the Samech Mem. It's the domain. It's the underworld, the forces of the underworld, just like in the Lord of the Rings. It's the forces of the end. That's their place. That's their lair. And he sent us there after Yetziat Mitzrayim to overcome those forces in all those places. And when we cleaned the place up, we really did. Even though we complained and everything else, that's the superficial level of the story of the Torah. But deep down, we were doing tikkun. The 42 encampments of the desert were a microcosm of all of history. Because they overcame those forces when we were in the desert, we have the ability to overcome everywhere we ever go, to clean every place we go, to raise up the sparks. Boy. So we've just passed through a field of thousands of years, and we're just about now coming into perfect alignment between two galaxies called the Pleiades and another one, I forget the name. And it'll be the first time in the history of the world that we're balanced right and left brain. And we're just about to enter into that. And that's this 2012 stuff. And although the 2012 stuff, he says, doesn't tell you what to do in order to get that. It's just like it's a time thing. But Judaism teaches what to do with time, what to do with this incredible potential that we're coming into now. I don't know if it's true. I didn't check NASA. I don't know what's going on. I'm a total nothing in terms of these things. But I took it and I said, well, why not? Why not take it seriously until it's disproven to me? That please Hashem, please help us that we should not be, sucked down. Our work, our daily lives, to really see Hashem in our lives is really the secret that can lift all of us up. To be connected to Eretz Yisrael, which is L'mala me'amakom, L'mala me'azman, on Pesach and Purim. It's a famous thing that on Pesach night, Egypt disappeared and we found ourselves in heaven. Because the power of Chatzot Laila on Pesach night was just that was like our initiation into what it means to live in heaven. And then the earth reappears and Paro, the joker, the nothing, plays his role again like Yul Brenner, and he makes like he has some power, but we've seen through it already. It's just a mask. Once Israel sees through the vanities of time, then we have the power to become truly the people that Hashem wants us to be.
Rabbi Gleason spoke in Manhattan like a year and a half ago. I have it on video. He explained that the whole 2012 thing is the old world is ending at a certain point. And then the new thing is starting at 2012.1. New ideas will come into the world. Like the old world is ending and a new world is beginning. It's not the end of the world.
No, not at all.
The end of the old world, the beginning of a new awareness.
It's a door to a new level of existence.
Right.
In other words, the little bubble is going to dissolve, and we're going to be entered into the new, higher bubble. We're leaving we're leaving grammar school basically, and going into the higher level. It's the 7th grade. We're about to enter the 7th grade. It's a big thing for us. All right, so that's what he says. There's a little bit more here for anybody who reads Hebrew, and you can take it home, and I underlined it, like whatever. But his whole thing of Tachat Azman, L'mala me'azman, and to free us from slavery, from sleep, through consciousness, through awareness of Hashem in our lives. That was a big motif in Rabbi Nachman's teachings. It was one of the last teachings he said, which was Torah Zayin in Likutei Tinyana. And again, there, everything is dot. When we fall into thinking that things are set and determined because of the mazalot, or because of nature, or because of any other historical factors, we lose our direct connection with the infinite.